massive challenges and costs because of these climate disasters. So that's it for me. I look forward to any questions you might have, and I'm going to turn it back to Mo, and then we'll come back in a few minutes to talk about how to reach out to your member of Congress today. Thanks, Mo.
Great. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, so we are seeing a lot of great questions come in. We're not going to be able to get to all of them, but I'm going to pull out a few of them here for you now. So, well, I can take the first one. Are we going to get access to the slides and recordings? Yes, you will. And we can also share, I see some of you asking for the song and the poem. We can send that along too. So that one's easy. Okay. First, let's see. Do we have a list of representatives who are yes votes and no votes? That question was from Martha. And maybe more broadly, Jonathan, can you just address how people should approach it depending on whether their member of Congress is a Democrat or a Republican, and perhaps why it's important to reach out no matter who their representative is?
Yeah, thanks for that question. Yeah, it's easily we can through just some searching online, you can find out if your representative voted for or against the Inflation Reduction Act. If they were a member of Congress in 2022 and they were a Democrat, they voted for the Inflation Reduction Act. And if they were a Republican in Congress, they voted against the Inflation Reduction Act. It was a party line vote. So pretty straightforward to find out that information. Um, I think if I were to approach this, if you were calling your representative as a Democrat, I would be thanking them for their support for implementing the law and following the law and bringing more clean energy jobs and manufacturing and reducing pollution and lowering energy costs back to your congressional district and to your community. If I were represented by a Republican, I'd be making the same case. There's no difference in the fact that these benefits are reaching consumers, businesses, colleges and universities, state and local governments, and making that case, whether you're represented by a Democrat or a Republican, is to me quite compelling. And we'll talk more about some of the tips in talking to your members of Congress here in a bit and ways to find out in your congressional district where the benefits are landing.
And Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, the other piece here is that there's so much going on. Um, it's important for all of us, whether our representative is a Democrat or a Republican, especially actually if they're a Democrat, to kind of boost this to the top of the to-do list, or at least higher on the to-do list, to let people know. I'm seeing some of you in the chat say, it's really important that they hear from us. Otherwise, I think people don't care. So even if they already generally support climate change, climate action, and clean energy, it's really critical that they're hearing from a lot of us. Okay, let's take maybe two more questions and then let's jump into the action, because that's why we're here. That's the point of these calls. We are going to provide a script for you all to use. I'm seeing that question come in from quite a few people. You're welcome to adapt it. Please make it your own, put it in your own words, make it be true to you, but we'll have a script that you can adapt. Okay, let's see. A lot of people are asking how to track projects or IRA benefits in their state. What can people do if they want to know more about the impact that the IRA is having near them?
So we'll put into the chat function, and I think we will try to find a way to get it to the folks on YouTube as well. A tracker, a website that has been tracking by congressional districts the money that is landing for manufacturing facilities, for your state and local government and the grants that they're receiving. So we'll be able to share that. I think we've got a link, and then we'll also include a link to our Sierra Club webpage on the Inflation Reduction Act that describes some of the specific programs and projects that are resulting from the IRA. So we'll put
Great.
those in the chat function here in just a second.
Perfect. Okay, so we have a great team on the back here who's working our chat So chat team, if y'all could put those links in there. And let's dive in. We're going to share more about how to do this right now, including some more talking points with some of the specifics that I see you all asking for. So if we can go back to sharing the slides. Okay, so um, here, Jonathan started to preview one of them a bit today. Here are the two actions that we are going to be taking today: calling your representative and posting on their social media page, both of which are really intended to put pressure on our representatives to protect these policies. And if anyone just groaned at either of these actions, give me just a minute to explain why they are strategic and will help us win. And if you're feeling nervous about the social media action, maybe you're not on any social media and you won't be able to do that, we have an alternative. So stick with us. So first, calling your member of Congress. Um, we partner with an organization called the Congressional Management Foundation that compiles data from congressional staff about the types of communication from constituents that have the most impact on swaying a member of Congress if that representative has not already reached a firm position. And phone calls are consistently ranked as an important way to persuade a member of Congress. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm seeing some of you in the chat say, I've called, I never get a response. I know that's frustrating. I have too. But the thing is, there are congressional staffers who their job is to answer these phone calls and speak with constituents about issues and record how many calls they get in support and how many calls they get in opposition. So this is a way where, there's over 1,000 of us on this call. There's many, many more on YouTube. If we can drive a few thousand calls in one day, that's huge. So that's another time where it's important to remember each of us alone, the impact is on the smaller side. But when we do it together, when we get our friends and family to do it with us, it matters. I'm seeing Anne in the chat say, my brother is a congressional staffer, and they totally track calls. Thank you, Anne. So next, for a quick overview of social media, so let's stay on this slide, please. So we all know about the growing role that social media plays in our daily lives, in our culture, our news, our politics. A lot of it is harmful, right? We know this. We see it so clearly. The amount of mis and disinformation is out of control. The impacts on mental health are very real. The bots posting fake comments and the algorithms that keep our attention in our own bubble. It's a lot. We are very aware of the challenges brought on by social media. It's something our Sierra Club social media team is constantly adapting to and figuring out how to engage with in such a tough online atmosphere. In fact, we actually have a whole other team of volunteers called the Climate Truth Tellers team, where everyday people, volunteers, supporters like you all, can help focus on that, on elevating accurate educational content on social media. So if you're interested in getting involved with that team, we'll share a link in the follow-up email. That's a great next step also if you're looking to get more involved. But for right now, despite these challenges, social media is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. We will have to adapt, but it remains an important way that millions of people are getting their news, are engaging with friends and family, and yeah, for better or worse, it's how a lot of people keep up with what's going on. And that includes your elected officials, right? Your members of Congress have social media pages, congressional staffers take note of the kind of comments that they get. So this is an important way for us to engage. And then a final benefit is that, when we're going to post on our members of Congress's social media platforms in just a second, is that other people see the comments too, right? You're not just reaching your representative, you're reaching other constituents at the same time. So let's do this. Next slide, please. It's time for action number one. We are going to call our member of Congress together. So Jonathan, if I could ask you to very quickly run through these ways to make the most effective phone call.
Thanks, Mo. Yeah, this is great. So we're gonna play a role play phone call exercise for you just in just a minute. But first, just a quick run through of some ways to make an effective phone call to a congressional office. As Mo said, the phone call will be answered by a staff person or maybe an intern. Sometimes they're not policy experts, but they're just hired to answer the phone. And so it's important to follow these just a few key tips. Next slide, please. First, identify yourself as a constituent. Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm a constituent. I live in Indianapolis and my zip code is 46250. That's important because that address and that zip code will tell the person answering the phone, I should pay attention to this person. Be specific. I support the Inflation Reduction Act's clean energy and climate programs, and I want my congressman to vote against repealing them. That specificity is really important. Second, make it personal. Why am I taking the time out of my day to call you? I want to protect the IRA because it's important to me because A, B, or C. Third, it's important to remember your ABCs. Always be accurate, always be brief, and always be courteous. The person that answers the phone may be busy with other tasks, doing other things in the office, and they'll have limited time. But if you remember those ABCs, be accurate with your information, be brief with your information, and be courteous, you'll do just fine. Mo, should we practice?
Let's do it. All right. So I'm gonna pretend to be a staff person. So ring ring. Good afternoon. Congresswoman's office. How can I help you?
Hi there, my name is Jonathan Laventius. I'm a constituent from Indianapolis, and my zip code is 46250. I'm also a volunteer with the Sierra Club. I'm calling today because I want Congresswoman Kelman to support keeping the clean energy and climate programs in the Inflation Reduction Act. I oppose repealing the Inflation Reduction Act. As one of the Congresswoman's constituents, it's extremely important to me that she prioritizes protecting the law. It's already creating thousands of jobs at a new battery manufacturing plant in our city. Repealing the IRA means we'll lose those jobs. I would like to receive a response regarding this matter and would be happy to leave my home and email address with you. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate your hard work, and I hope the Congresswoman considers my views on this important issue affecting her constituents.
Thank you for calling in, Jonathan. I will share your comments with the Congresswoman. Okay. So that seems pretty easy, right? Jonathan was a little bit of an overachiever. Um, you don't have to add quite that much detail, but on your screen right now, you can see first the number that we're going to ask you all to call in just a second. That will automatically connect you to your representative. And then on the right, a sample script. So again, please feel free to adjust it, put it in your own words. It can be very short. Just one or two or three sentences is perfectly fine. Feel free to say anything that is true to you about what you care about, whether it's jobs or affordability or energy or your kids' future or pollution or asthma, whatever it is. So let's all go on mute now and take a moment to make these calls together. I know that it helps me to see all thousands and thousands of you doing it together. So let's go on mute. Feel free to put any questions in the chat or on Q&A, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. And we'll be back in maybe 2 minutes. I see a few people saying they're having trouble getting connected. You can Google your representative's phone number online. And if you don't have time to do it right now, we can send an email with instructions. I'm seeing a lot of people having success. Emily, Mary, Marjorie, Kate, Stephen, you did it. Joanne, David, that was easy. Done. Success. All right, we'll wait 15 more minutes. Looks like a lot of folks are finishing up. Amazing job, everyone. This is awesome to see. Thank you. Done. They listened, left a message. Done. Great to have the phone number. Success. Talk to a real person. Talk to a staffer. Left a message. This is great. Thank you all so much. It is really thrilling to see all of this. I know some of you were not able to get through, either disconnected or it didn't connect you to the right person. We're going to keep moving right now, but we will send a link to make it very clear how to find the right number. Thank you all for doing this. This is really amazing. There's, again, 1,000 of us here on Zoom and thousands more on YouTube. So that's pretty good for a day's work, and we're only one action through. Okay, let's keep moving. We're going to move on to action number 2. Next slide, please. And I'm going to pass it to my colleague Hillary to talk us through posting on social media.
All right. Thanks, Mo. Thanks, Jonathan. Let's get to it. So, our next action, well, firstly, my name's Hillary. I use she, her pronouns. I'm on the Sierra Club's digital team, and I live in San Juan, between San Juan and Denver. And yeah, so we're going to walk through our next action, which is a social media share. As Mo said in the beginning, some folks may not feel comfortable sharing or commenting on social media, or you might not use social media. We do have a backup action, so that's okay. Just hold on. We're going to get to that backup action in just a moment after I give the social instructions. So I'm going to share my screen so folks can follow along. All right. Is everyone able to see that? Cool. I see a thumb up. All right. So, um, first, we should all probably already know who our representatives are from calling, but in case you still need to find your rep, you can use this tool right here. I'll put in your zip code and then click find your rep, and we should have that in the chat as well. And then you just copy your rep's name. For some districts, there'll be 2 reps between the zip code. So it'll pop up with a little request for more information. You'll just put in your address and you'll be able to then look up which is your correct representative. And then you can just copy their name. And then you're going to go to your favorite search platform. I'm going to use Google. And you put in their name, as you can see from my history here on the screen. I've already tried this out to make sure it worked. You're going to want to put in US House Rep or Representative, only because that if their name is popular, you could end up with a different social account that's not actually someone in Congress, which would be, we don't want to be commenting on random strangers. So you want to make sure to type this in and then add your favorite social platform or whichever platform you use the most. It doesn't have to be your favorite. I'm going to go on Facebook, which is not my favorite, but it's popular. So it'll hopefully get some good engagement. So then you can scroll down to your representatives page and you'll see that they have a bunch of recent, most likely, assuming they're engaged on social, they should have a bunch of recent posts. And you want to try to find one that's slightly relevant. So you're probably not going to find anything directly about the IRA, but you might be able to find something about climate, budget, energy, affordability. Honestly, if it just mentions Trump, that should be fine. So I'm going to see, there's some things about funding. I think that would work pretty well. Oh, this looks good. Let's see what she says here. Yeah, there's a few things about funding. I think that's going to be a close bet. I imagine a lot of people are going to have posts about the funding. And so then what you want to do is you want to grab the script that we're going to put in the chat. Um, and let me grab that myself. And you can also write your own comment. You don't have to follow the script. The two things to remember when you're putting a comment on their page is that you want to make sure that one, you absolutely say that you are their representative. So in the script we have right here, city, state. So I'm just going to write Denver, Colorado, which is her district. And then you want to make sure that you mention either clean energy funding or the IRA or something about protecting these benefits. So I'm going to say I'm asking, uh, thank you. We know Daggett is a climate champion. She supports the IRA. If you know that about your rep, you can thank them for their support. No worries if you don't know anything about your representative. So thank you for standing up for us. Oh, I spelled that right. Asking you to please do everything you can to stop any of your efforts to repeal the IRA's clean energy, health, and economic benefits. As your constituent in Denver, Colorado, it's important to protect these programs that are creating new jobs. So great. I'm gonna send this as a comment. And that should have hopefully gone through. There are 123 comments, so I'm not sure if I can see mine that it popped up, but yeah. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So you can type your own comment. We're going to give folks a second to add their own feedback to the talking points in a moment. I am going to stop sharing. You can also do this on any platform, but can we get the slides back up so we have the talking points? Great. Okay. So there's that sample message right there. You can use, again, you don't have to do Facebook. You can use any platform you'd like. You could do Blue Sky is a good one. If you're not seeing a relevant post right away, you can either take the second action that I'm going to share right now, or you could send them a message, or you could just comment on your own platform and tag your representative. So one note for if your representative is a Republican or someone you know takes a lot of money from the fossil fuel industry, if we could go to the next slide really quick. We do have some talking points that we're also going to share in the chat. Great, perfect. So the sample comment is still right over here on the right if you're still working on that. We have a couple sample comment talking points that you can use if you know that your representative really isn't on our side and might need a little more convincing. We put these together. Okay. So as folks are working on that, as I promised, for everybody who doesn't want to share on social media, we're just going to have you do an ask for your friends and family members. So we know that sometimes it can feel uncomfortable to talk about politics to the people we love. A lot of times it's easier in different settings. But so many people, like there was 10,000, 12,000 people who signed up for this engagement action hour tonight. And a lot of people in your community probably are looking for something to do too. You're the best messenger to reach them. And it's super effective as a way to get more people taking action. So we're asking folks, if you have a moment and you're not sharing on social, to send an email to 1 to 3 friends or family members, asking them to do the call-in action that we just took. So if we go to the next slide. Here is a sample email. Don't worry, we will be sharing this all around tomorrow. So if you're not able to get this from the chat, we'll put everything in the chat. But if you're not able to get this from the chat, or type this up tonight, you can also do it tomorrow. But this is for folks who aren't doing the social action right now. You can take a moment to send either an email or a text message to a couple of friends and family members. You don't have, these are, folks you don't have to use this exact language. This is a suggestion. The people you care about the best. So please use whatever language you think makes sense. And now I am going to just check the Q&A and see if there's any clarifying questions about these actions specifically. And then I'm going to stop talking for a minute so people can ask. Let's see. I'm not seeing screen share. Yeah, we turned up screen share for a second. Okay, so I'm not seeing any clarifying questions about this action, which is great.
Whoops, Raquel,
Um,
can we go back to sharing again so people can have the script? I'm seeing that people are not
yeah.
able to copy from the chat. Sorry about that.
Oh, we're not able to copy from the chat. Okay, well, just type it as well as you can from the script. If you go see this bottom line in the email, this is actually the same script we used for the message to your representative. I'm sorry you can't copy. I thought you'd be able to copy from the chat. Yeah, I might have to do a little shorter for Twitter and Blue Sky. Thank you. Again, you want these to sound like you, so feel free to just rewrite it in your own words. I see there's some great comments that people have already posted in the chat. I'm going to stop talking. We're at 49 past the hour. So I'm going to stop talking until about 51, just to let people go ahead and write their social post or email if that's what you prefer. So I'll give folks a moment. Okay, I see a lot of folks are sharing, and then there's some questions about where did you get the congressional? Oh, can you share a link to that congressional? Oh, the congressional Facebook page. So sorry. So you just want to put in your name of your congressperson, U.S. representative, and then the Facebook or whatever the social media platform you want to use is, and that's how I found their page. So you want to do that in a search engine. Um, okay, and then there is a couple questions about this being a little challenging to do on the call. We're going to share the instructions, recording, and all of the information you need to do this um, as soon as, yeah, tomorrow, I think, shortly. Okay, great. All right. So I'll let folks wrap that up as you are finishing sharing. I see a lot of folks were able to. Um, this is great. I'm just going to share one more piece of our work that Mo also mentioned earlier. We have a team. If this is something that you're interested in and you want to do more busting disinformation around climate and the environment on social media, we have a team called Climate Truth Tellers. If you're interested in that, we can share more in the, we can share the link in the chat, and I'll pass it back to Marissa to wrap up.
Great. Thank you, Hillary. And I also want to thank everyone who I'm seeing so many comments in the chat who are trying either calling their representative or posting on social media for the very first time. I think I saw dozens and dozens of people saying that. And that is a really big deal for all of us to be trying new things and figuring out new tactics to put pressure on our representatives. So thank you for trying that out. Also seeing some of you who weren't able to copy the templates. feel free to just type onto the platform directly. The comment can be short, and we will send them out in a follow-up email. So I am now going to pass this over to my colleague Sarah. We're getting towards the end. Hang on, don't leave yet, because we are going to continue doing these action hours once a month, and we're really hoping that you continue to join us. These are going to be changing month by month depending on what's happening in Washington, what the most effective actions are going to be. And if that is what is going to be your engagement right now, if that is a thing you can commit to doing, to showing up every month, that is wonderful. We would be so glad to have you here. If you can bring friends and family in February, we'd love that. And maybe you're looking to get more involved. Maybe you're ready for more. Maybe you're wanting to get connected to people who live near you. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Sarah to talk about an option for joining your local Sierra Club chapter.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mo. And holy cow, thousands of people here taking actions. This was the first time I've had the opportunity to call my new congressman, Gabe Evans. So thank you all for making this space and thank you all for being here. My name's Sarah Clark. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Western Regional Chapter Capacity Director based here in beautiful Denver, Colorado on Ute, Arapaho, and Cheyenne lands. And I'm here today to talk to you about Sierra Club chapters. Yay, chapters. Shout out to anybody on this call that is already involved in one. Just so you know, we have 64 chapters all across the United States and Puerto Rico, including 13 individual chapters in California. At Sierra Club, chapters are the foundation of our movement. They're building power on the ground to push back against the Trump agenda, resist harmful policies, and tackle some of the most pressing environmental challenges right here at the state and local levels. Across the nation, chapters bring like-minded people together to organize and connect. They remind us that we're not alone in this fight, even though sometimes it really feels like it. And even during uncertain times at the federal level, we can advance renewable energy solutions, advocate for clean air and water, protect wildlife and natural spaces, and engage in lobbying at your state legislature to make sure your local voices are heard. This picture is folks in Colorado at Lobby Day a couple years ago. Chapters create opportunities to build joy and community through local actions and outings. We go on hikes, we do cleanup events, and we do simple gatherings in nature. Just experiencing some of these beauty of our surroundings remind us of why we do this work. It also helps us renew strength and deepen connections, empowering us to keep moving forward together. Together, we can continue to make meaningful change, even in this scary time. We're doing some of it right now. We can continue to do it together locally and at the state level too. If you'd like to learn more about your local chapter, please feel free to reach out and contact our team. We have organizers all across the East and the West, and our team can help connect you directly with amazing people in your local chapter today. So please, if you can, send an email. It's listed on here. If you're in the Western region, which Western region for Sierra Club is Louisiana up to Iowa, everything west of that, please send an email to the west-foct-list@sierraclub.org. Or if you're anywhere on the East, there is the East email as well. We have fantastic people all around the country. I would really love to see y'all here in Colorado if you're around. So thanks so much. I'll pass it back to you, Mel.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, it is almost time for us to close. But before we do, I really just want us to all take a second to acknowledge ourselves for showing up today, because you did not have to spend your hour here with us. Maybe it's your lunch hour, maybe you're ending your workday, maybe you were going to be picking up your kids or grandkids, maybe you were going to be grocery shopping, but you're here. You showed up, so thank you. But more than acknowledging ourselves, I want us to try to take a look at the chat, at the number of people who are here, and just, I know we can't all see each other's faces, but imagine all the other thousands of people that are here with us. And then let's keep going, and we can even think about all the people not on this Zoom right now who are out there, who are fighting alongside with us, who also believe in a safe and healthy and sustainable world where everyone has enough, and who want to protect the future. And let's just remember that there are so, so, so many more people like that in the world than the few who seek to divide us and pit us against each other and profit off of pain. We're going to keep showing up alongside all of you. We're going to keep doing these actions. We're going to keep taking actions in our communities. We're going to get involved in our kids' schools. We can think about how to align our dollars, our purchasing with our values. Maybe we can go introduce ourselves to that neighbor that we've been meaning to meet. We can make a donation we've been meaning to make. We can invite our friends and family because so many people are looking to get involved right now and don't know how. Um, so as we close, I again just want to think also about what it will take for each of us to keep showing up. And maybe that means you stop reading so much news. Really, I mean, it's important for us to stay involved, but not if it paralyzes you and keeps you from acting. I'm trying to figure out that balance for myself. Um, so with that, we're going to end with a survey because, as we said, this was the first of these National Climate Action Hours, and we really love your feedback. We're going to be back in February, probably February 26th with the next one, and we would love for you to help us improve. So please just take 1 minute, stay on, and take this survey to let us know if you found today useful, what we can do better, and especially what kind of actions you would be most interested in doing next month with us. So we're going to put the link in the chat right now. Or if you want to do the QR code on the screen, you can do that. We will also send the survey in the follow-up email, but it would mean so much to us if y'all could take 1 minute to fill out the survey. So I'll give you all a moment to do that. And once you've finished, feel free to pop off. And oh, we're already seeing the surveys coming in. Thank you all so much. Seeing some great feedback in the chat. Thank you all so much for being here. People asking how to sign up for next month's. We will send out a link in the follow-up email tonight or tomorrow morning. Thank you all so much. Thank you for filling out this survey. Maybe we'll put the link in the chat one more time and we will send it in the follow-up email. Let us know. What do you want to do next month? What was good? What could be better? And we'll see you all in February. Thank you so much, y'all. Really, really glad to be here with you today.